All right, I just wanted to make a quick video explaining some of the things that I had been going through, present time, past time, dealing with my not being able to exercise and hurting my leg or knee. Mainly it was my knee, but it did kind of rotate down into other parts of my leg. So at the time that I first this happened last year, and the reason why I want to explain it is because I had to really take extensive time to heal, and then moving on from just getting back to somewhat being normal where I can exercise. But I had to start exercising in other ways. Like instead of exercising my lower part, anything with my legs, I had to leave that alone. I might have done some exercising from, on the upper part of my body, and I just had to rotate it on that. Now, it took me a minute to even get to that point to say, well, you can still be doing some kind of exercise. Then the thing about it is, let me explain this first. The what took me over into being injured, because I technically that's what I consider it. I was doing this happened last year. I was doing squats on a regular basis all throughout the year. And then I got to a point where one day I just got motivated to do 100 squats. And I could feel it after I did that 100 somewhat. But I thought it was just regular, oh, you did an extra 50. But I probably should have worked up from doing 50 to doing 75 instead of jumping all the way to 100. But at another point in my life, maybe that wouldn't have been, and I'll probably be able to do it like that if I choose to at another point. But it's the point of strengthening up your muscles in my knee. So one thing I've moved towards of making sure that I do now, because I didn't do that back then. And when you've got children that's been athletes, they kind of explain it to you. I've been a workout person all my life, but I can't say that I was actually an athlete. I probably ran track some, but other than that, I didn't do any kind of athletic activities. But I was active all my life. Maybe doing things that you did extensive walking or whatnot. So, and also exercising. So the thing is, I had to learn and hearing from my sons that you need to stretch, which I've never been motivated to be a person that stretch, and I've been able to get away with it. But the thing about it is, my body is saying, no, you're going to need to stretch. That's probably why I caused that problem. But like I said, I went from doing 50 squats. And I mean, I did it, like I said, at times I would do it every day. Every now and then you get to a point where you might skip a day or a couple of days or whatnot. But all through the week, I would stay on top of doing it at least a few times, probably 3 or 4 times for sure. So anyway, that day that 2 days in a row, I did 100 squats. And like I said, I could feel it, but I didn't know that the damage was going to come and affect me. And when I thought that I could keep on doing those squats, that's when I realized I had to tell myself, no, you need to stop. And I'm glad I did, because instead of me doing 3 or 4 days in a row, I would have really injured myself. So the thing about it is, at the time that I had that situation to happen, it messed up me being able to walk in a regular way, and I've never ever dealt with this kind of injury before. I've had situations where I could be real sore and tender, hurting or whatever for different things. Maybe work more in the angle of working, not really just necessarily working out, but sometimes when you stop working out and then start back again, you can notice a difference, and you can be real sore if you hadn't worked out in a long time. So the main part of what I'm bringing this up for is because now when I did my jump ropes, and I had to take my time, because the first time that I jumped rope, I realized it wasn't going to work, and this wasn't that long ago. So let me see, this is December I say it was probably September, maybe August, September, somewhere like that. It was at least probably a couple of months ago. I can't remember. I can always look, but it was around that time frame. So the thing is, when I started jumping rope again, I realized and I've done this. I've tried this before. I realized that it just wasn't gonna work, because as soon as I was jumping rope, I could feel the tenseness in my knee. So that's at that point, that's when I knew for sure that I was gonna have to start stretching. So that's what I've been motivated to work more on than even just regular exercise, because I feel like I'm doing myself a whole lot of good. And like I said, talking to my sons, one of my sons was saying, "Yeah, mama, you're gonna have to start stretching." He was like, "You're gonna regret it, or you're gonna mess your body up like I did." Not, and he told me this afterwards. He was like, "Yeah, you just gonna have to start stretching. That's just what you're gonna have to do." So I've set my mind to focus more on stretching more than exercise at this point. But that's why I went and jumped rope. Let me see. I think the last time that I jumped rope, it ain't been that long ago. And I was trying to motivate myself to jump rope before then, but I was kind of just trying to take a precaution to pay attention to my body, just to make sure that I wasn't having any problems from that jumping rope. Because sometimes if you jumping rope the first time, when I noticed that it was going to be a problem and I needed to focus on maybe the stretching part and work my muscles out, so that or whatever kind of exercise. And I'll probably go into this another time on another video on what type of exercises that I was starting to do to help me with my knee. Because I'm telling you, if I had to just stayed like I was, I probably wouldn't be healed now. But the thing is, I got to a point where I started doing other exercises just to work out that issue that I was having with my knee, legs, or whatnot. So that's what made me be able to jump rope like I did to today and then the other day, because I went in and I started doing some other exercises like running backwards, whatnot. So like I said, I'll probably go into it more in detail, because I have other exercises that I'm going to actually work into my routines to help strengthen up the knee. Because see, the thing is, when you think that you have a knee problem, and one thing that I was using when I was healing is I had to start using ACE bandages on my knee. I mean, it was bad because, like I said, I had to walk like one step at a time, going down steps one step at a time, and that's not anything that I've ever had to do unless I had an operation. Now, when I had an operation, then you can expect it to go through that kind of process, that you've had an extensive surgery. And I have had one in the past, more than one, but one was probably like a day surgery, but it wasn't that big of a deal. But another one was totally different, very intensive. So the thing about it is, other than that, I hadn't had any problems. But like I said, I'm starting to learn more about when you have these type of issues, you just don't have to give up. I was at a point that I really thought that I was in a terrible situation, that I probably wouldn't, I don't know, I just felt like I might not come all the way back. But just like I said, working on the stretching part is something that I had to say, okay, you're going to have to do this regardless of what kind of exercise you do. So it is what it is. So just like I said, talking to my son, he was like, yeah, you're going to have to stretch. And if you don't, you're going to have some bad consequences, which that's kind of what I had with doing the squats. Like I said, I was doing the squats regular, constant. I mean, for months, even probably at other years before that I was doing the squats with no problem. So anyway, yeah, you just have to, for a person like me, like I said, that never went hard on stretching unless I went to a class and they stretch, or you look at a video and they stretch. That's the only time. When I've walked, I've never stretched. When I jumped rope before, I never stretched. But it is what it is. And I realize, it's for me to prepare my muscles for a workout. That's just what I'm gonna have to do, because that was a pretty good period of time that I was injured. I mean, it was some months, and at times when I might have approached, medical about it, when I went to a doctor's appointment or whatnot, but then I didn't go in all the way too hard. I was going to get an MRI just to see what kind of problems or issues I was having in the knee area, but it didn't work out at that time. And then I just told myself, well, that's a clue that I just need to go ahead and find out what I can do to improve it. And that's what I did. So, like I said, certain exercises that I got in tune with and started doing the research on, I realized it can be strengthened up, and that's what I did, and that's the only way that I'm able to come back and start doing my jumping rope, and then also other things that I'll start including. But okay, then I just wanted to throw that in there. It's very important, and I'll say this, that when you could get away with things like that and not have to stretch or anything else, you realize there's a time in your life where that might not be the case, and you just have to be content with it and just ease yourself on into doing it. And if it's going to be for your better a better outcome, then you just have to do it that way. And so that's what I realized. If young people have to stretch, like I said, I guess I was blessed just to even be able to get away with not stretching all these years. Because like I said, I've done a lot of exercise, different exercise, weight room exercise, going to aerobics, whatever. So, I got away with it for a long time. It probably could have injured somebody a long time ago. So I just have to realize that I just have to work it into my routine. And it is what it is. So, all right, I appreciate you stopping by, listening to my video. Appreciate anybody that subscribed, and I appreciate anybody else that stops through that's not subscribed. And please like, comment, and subscribe. All right.